Welcome back to Middle East Now. 13 UN ambassadors are visiting Israel these days. Our correspondent, Pierre Clochandler, joined the delegation on Israel's border with Lebanon.
Escorted by an Israeli officer and by their Israeli counterpart, ambassadors to the UN from 13 countries are led to the Blue Line, where a security wall is being built along the border. 2 Hezbollah operatives monitor the area. 4 years ago, the Israeli military unveiled a 2-kilometer-long, 80-meter-deep cross-border tunnel dug in the rock by the Lebanese militia. A 250-meter segment of the tunnel penetrates Israel's territory. In total, 6 such tunnels were neutralized by the IDF during that military operation.
The purpose of the tunnels was to cut the fence and the security roads that lead to the different communities on the Blue Line, on the border, and actually to take over several of those communities.
You won't even find who did it in none of the UN reports, by the way. It's a surprise. Maybe God created these tunnels. Who knows? I mean, that's why we're so frustrated with the UN.
A way to illustrate Israel's double-barrel struggle against Iran's arms tentacle across the Middle East and against the threat of a nuclear Iran to the region amidst constant calls by Tehran for Israel's destruction. The ambassadors seem impressed. After all, Hezbollah is designated as a terrorist organization by influential states within the international community.
That's clear. There's a connection. Iran funds terrorism. It backs proxies. It's hard to imagine that there was no Iranian involvement.
If amongst this delegation, Hezbollah's and Iran's threat against Israel enjoys some measure of consensus, that's not the case regarding the status of the old city of Jerusalem. 3 European ambassadors decided not to participate in the visit to the Western Wall because the European Union doesn't recognize Israel's sovereignty over East Jerusalem.
I prefer not to give interviews, sorry.
Obviously, I do not agree with the instructions or the policy of the European Union, but it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, it only demonstrates that we should only increase our efforts to convince every member state at the UN, every ambassador, to try to show him the reality that we are facing here.
Our reality versus theirs. A difficult debate over differing visions of an Arab-Israeli peace process, prioritizing the Abraham Accords or a 2-state solution. Pierre Clochandler, I-24 News, Israel-Lebanon border.